So let's talk about the energy themes for the month of June 2024. There are three main themes, but there are themes, sub-themes within the themes. And the first one here that I got downloaded is Earth is becoming more and more sovereign. And that's also reflecting in us and how sovereign we are becoming. And if you've seen some of my older energy themes videos, especially the one in December that was about the year 2024, this was one of the biggest themes too, is the higher heart activation, which we'll talk a little bit more about in a few minutes. But yes, Earth is becoming more and more sovereign. That was a message that came through. And so we will continue to see signs of quote unquote climate changes. Okay. And you might have experienced even where you live, there are different things happening in different parts of the world, but it's all kind of the same thing. You know, if you think of the elements, water, wind, earth, something is happening, right? You might see places that are going through something that's related to earth or to water or really high temperatures, really low temperatures, right? So what this should be doing is bringing a grander awareness on how our daily habits impact our life and the collective. So it's not because I've heard, people saying that Mother Earth is angry. I personally don't necessarily think it's that. I just think that yes, she's showing signs of this ascension, right? So when you think of your being, for example, if you're going through a detoxification, for example, you're going to clear your gut, right? It doesn't feel very good, but that it needs to be done. Like you need to just bring a lot of water into your gut and cleanse, right? And let it out. And so that's kind of what's happening with Earth. She's clearing, she's just cleansing, okay, detoxifying. So we are having glimpses, or not even glimpses, we're having real experiences of that. And it's different. Like I'm in Brazil, and recently we had a very tragic episode of a lot of floods in the southern state. And it's really, really tragic. It's really upsetting because a lot of people have lost everything, and they're still rebuilding. And there was a lot of rain that was unusual. But I've heard people in Kenya saying that they're also dealing with flood. So there are different things, but it's kind of the same thing. Mother Earth showing signs that she's ascending, but she's going through these phases. And I think, and I'll just continue with the example of, because it's close to me. There were a lot of people helping. I helped um through donations, through, sending things that they need. And because now it's about rebuilding the state, the whole state. But there's also things that you could be doing on a daily basis, right? That could impact the environment. So what we were doing, it was a remedy for something that has already been caused. But what about our day-to-day life, right? Are the little things, the small change in habits do make an impact. You might think it doesn't, but it does. So what can it be for you? And this is the prompt. What are some of the practical actions that you can take on your day-to-day life that can have a positive impact on both your personal and the collective's well-being, right? So what is it? What is it? Be practical about it. Is it less plastics? Is it recycling? Is it less animal-based product? Is it maybe less car? Can you walk to your work? Things like that. Everyone is different, and you can always do a little more. Okay, even if you think that you're doing a lot, there's always more that you can do. Okay, so a good prompt to reflect and just remember that you're doing this for yourself, but you're also doing this for the collective. We are also seeing signs of what, yes, we perceive them as tragedies. There's a lot of division, a lot of duality, a lot of war going on, as you may know. And basically, that is more shadow surfacing, coming out of the closet. And that's to do with the 3D dismantling, right? That's also to do with Mother Earth ascending. And as we had our session yesterday, and something really interesting came up from the Pleiadians is that she's made her decision, right? She's made the decision to ascend. And so now it's up to us to go along with that, right? And we'll talk about making decisions in a few minutes too. But once you make that decision to awaken, to heal, to expand your awareness, to ascend along with Mother Earth, there will be things coming out of the closet. There will be your little demons, your little monsters inside of you that has been kept for so long in the closet on the side. You suppressed it for so long, and now it's just coming up to the surface. Okay. And so that is the natural process of evolution and of ascension. If you think that we're going to the destination, even though it's not a destination, but if we're heading towards unity consciousness, then we will continue to see things that are not in harmony, that are not part of unity consciousness, so that we can transmute that. It's not going to be easy, it's not going to be overnight, but that's what's happening. And this is important for us to see that bigger picture, because then we can continue to have faith, continue to trust, and continue to stay in our heart center. Also, another thing that came through from our session with the Pleiadians recently is the dissonance is oftentimes the path to find harmony. That was an analogy that came up, and it's to do with that, with the idea that for you to find harmony, sometimes you will experience dissonance. Okay, so if you're it's a good analogy for people that are musicians or musical, because a lot of times for you to find the right harmony, you will be experimenting with notes that may not sound as harmonious. And so again, when we're in this path towards unity consciousness, we will experience dissonance, but it's part of the process for us to find harmony. So two prompts that I'm giving regarding this theme is that it's okay, and actually I would even say necessary, to feel your emotions and allow them to be the bridge to your heart center, where you can find that heart center, that neutrality, that peace. Okay. Because yes, when you look at the pictures or the news, whatever it is, you don't even have to look at them. You just know that it's happening. It's happening to a lot of people, human beings that are, kids and women and people that are innocent, right? It's also happening to a lot of animals too. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel frustrated, whatever it is. But don't stay there. Don't stay in that emotion. Allow yourself to feel so that emotion moves through you, and then you can get into your heart center and see things from a higher dimensional perspective. And also when we're talking about this, duality, division, heading towards unity consciousness, we have to remind ourselves that everything starts within, right? And the outside world is a reflection of our inner world. And so a few prompts for you to reflect on is, where am I still in duality, in separation, battling in war within myself? And what aspects of myself have I not accepted? And how can I be more in union within myself, in my feminine, in my masculine, in my ego, in my spirit, in my body, in my mind, in my heart, and my brain? Where can I be more in union? So a few things for you to reflect on. If this resonates too, you can take this with you for the session and see what comes up for you. Next theme, we have higher heart and higher mind coherence. And like I said in the beginning of this video, higher heart has been a theme for 2024. And when we're talking about the higher heart chakra, we're talking about that unconditional love plus the sovereignty, which is a big theme again, and it's connected to the previous theme that Mother Earth is becoming more sovereign, so are we, right? If you don't have that aspect within yourself and it's just unconditional love, it can be a little misleading, if you will, because you might be giving too much of yourself. You might have a really open heart, but find it really hard to set boundaries or to know what you want or to make decisions. Okay. And also this month, because we're going into Cancer season from the 21st, we're also experiencing another emotional upgrade in the higher heart activation, right? Because one of the things of the Cancer season is that we feel a lot, and a lot of people who are Cancer, they will also say that they feel a lot, then and they feel things very deeply to the point that they might be seen as, the drama queens or kings. But that's also because they need more of that sovereignty as well, feeling sovereign in themselves, allowing themselves to feel, but not allowing the feelings and the emotions to take the lead and take over. And then the higher mind is the higher level of your conscious mind. So, when you're in your conscious mind, you're able to do things that are logical. You are able to reason things. You're able to analyze, to rationalize things, okay, to make decisions. So the higher mind is just one step above your conscious mind, but it's not quite at the top in your crown chakra where you're super connected to spirit that you can't even think what it's 2 plus 2. Okay. So, for example, in the meditation, in the breathwork practices that we do, you're disconnecting yourself from your conscious mind, connecting with your subconscious mind, and really connecting with your heart, connecting with your spirit. And that's when you're able to have deeper meditations. Okay. It's the higher mind is not that. The higher mind, you're still conscious, but it's just one step above that. It would sit around between, I would say, the third eye and the crown chakra. And so this coherence between higher heart and higher mind brings an expanded awareness and more clarity to make decisions that are anchored in your heart and that make sense. What do I mean by this? Sometimes you make a decision solely from your conscious mind. It doesn't feel right, maybe. Okay. Sometimes you just feel it in your heart that this is the right thing to do, but you don't know why. You can't really understand. It doesn't make sense. Right now, because of this coherence that is happening and that you're activating within you, you will be able to feel what's right and also make sense of it, and also be able to rationalize, and also make sense of why this feels like it's the right thing to do. Okay, so it's really powerful. It's really good to have this coherence, right? And so a little prompt for you, it's not necessarily a question, but it's just actually a daily practice that you can do, is just to allow yourself to feel things whenever they come up without judgment and observe, be curious about how your emotions are being as acting as your guidance system. So your emotions can be your guidance system. If you allow yourself to feel them, you allow them to move through you, then that's what you're doing. You're allowing your heart to be more open. You're activating that higher heart and that higher mind coherence so that you're able to have more clarity. You're able to have that expanded awareness. The next theme too is that we're having the solstice on the peak is on the 20th of June. For some of you is the summer solstice, some of you who are in the northern hemisphere. And for some of you, like me, it's the winter solstice. That's why I'm wearing a jumper because it's getting chilly. Not as cold as in some places in the northern hemisphere, but it's yeah, it's winter solstice. So there is a little bit of difference in terms of how you can make use of the summer season or the winter season. Okay, generally speaking, in the summer, you feel more energetic, you feel more motivated, you feel more like you want to create more things. You feel like you want to, plant new seeds. So that's kind of the intention for the summer solstice is to plant new seeds, is to start creating or continue to create, continue to work on the things you've been working on. The winter season is more, generally speaking, is more a season for you to hibernate a little bit, to be quieter, to yeah, to be more with yourself, to be more indoors, and to just give time to integrate things. Okay. But basically, what they both have in common with solstice is that evolution happens in cycles. So this is a cycle. Okay. It's a cycle that's ending and a cycle that's beginning. And your life happens in cycles too. Okay. So for this month of June, because of this energy of the solstice, there will be a bigger sense of completion of cycles. You might be feeling like certain things in your life have felt that completion, have felt completed. And so there's a new cycle wanting to emerge, or you're entering a new cycle because we are entering a new cycle with the solstice. And so with that, again, there's more clarity on the pathway for the future for the next 6 months to a year. And there's also more hope, even amidst the perceived 3D chaos, because the sense of completion brings that in us, brings more clarity for the future, brings more hope as well. Okay. And also, I would say if there's anything that doesn't yet feel complete, that's okay too. It doesn't have to be complete because it's the solstice, but I'm saying that this month, this energy is a good energy, is a good opportunity for you to find that completion within yourself. And since we were talking about making decisions too, this is also how we transmute fear because whenever there is an ending of a cycle and beginning of a new cycle, there is fear, there is grief too, okay? But it's important for you to make decisions and being committed to them. And this is what June is bringing for us. Um, you're able to have that clarity. Because you have that clarity, you're able to make decisions. And I believe it was this last month in one of the channel messages from the Pleiadians from my channel on Instagram, Pleiadian channel. If you're not following me there, you can find me at Pleiadian channel. Every day there's a new message. I believe it was last month, there was a message related to making decisions and how decisions basically they serve to bring motion, right? Every day we're making decisions. Waking up is a decision. Getting up is a decision. Having a coffee is a decision. Coming to this session is a decision. And for a lot of these small decisions, we don't really think too much, and we think that we have to, big think and reflect really big on the big decisions. But the big decisions can also be built by making small decisions. Okay. And this can transmute fear because you might be fearful of making a big decision, whether it's leaving the relationship or leaving the job or starting a new business or moving to another country, whatever it is, that feels like it's the big decision. But can you make small decisions that will help you towards that bigger decision? Okay. And this is how little by little you transmute fear. But it's important to also be committed to the decisions. Just like I mentioned earlier, Mother Earth has made the decision to ascend, and she's sovereign. She's becoming the 5D planet that she's always meant to be. So can you also make the decision and be committed to that decision? And it's not even about being stubborn to something, it's just about being committed to the frequency that you decided to vibrate at. It could be as practical as making a decision, but actually, there's an energy behind that decision. There's an energy, a frequency that you're committing yourself to. Okay. And during the solstice portal, or the gateway, which is between the 18th and the 22nd, 22nd of June, you might notice that you are going to receive more inner guidance, more insights, and that realization of completion. And all of this will support you in the next cycles of your journey. All right, so a little prompt is to do a simple solstice ritual by journaling the things that you're ready to let go of and the things that you want to invite in and manifest in this new cycle. Okay. And this is also a great preparation for the Lion's Gate that's going to be on the 8th of August. And this year's Lion's Gate is super special because it's 888, so it's 888 because the year 2024 is a year 8. And so it's a really special Lions Gateway. We're going to have this session on the 8th of 8th, okay? The 8th of 8th, the 8th of August. Yeah, so this little ritual of writing things down, you can burn them or you can rip them or whatever it is. Do a little bit of clearing, okay? Do a little bit of reflection on the things that you are ready to let go, that no longer serves you in the next cycle, and then all the things that you're ready to invite in and manifest. All right. So this is it for the themes. Let me know which one do you resonate most with.